morning everyone, and welcome to this week's speed build video. Actually, it might not be morning where you are, so go ahead and pause the video and then turn it back on when it is morning so that I won't be saying the wrong time of day. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, welcome to this week's speed build video. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us and hanging out with us today, and be sure to like and subscribe for more speed build videos. We usually do those every Tuesday, and then we do a let's play or some kind of gameplay video on Saturdays. And of course I am going to be adding, eventually, I'm going to be adding other videos of other games like Phasmophobia. I've been playing that one a lot lately, and of course Cyberpunk is coming out this week, and I am going to spam the heck out of that game because I am so excited for that game. I can't even put into words. I have been a huge fan of that genre and that whole aesthetic forever, and I've been listening to Vaporwave and just getting ready for this game. I am so pumped up. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of that on my channel very soon. Thank goodness, in like 2 days. But anyway, today's video is a continuation of the holiday home builds that we have that are going to be a part of the Home for the Holidays challenge that we're doing, where we have Meredith and Christopher who are going to be getting together and having the stereotypical Hallmark movie experience. Maybe, because it's The Sims, and who knows what's going to happen, right? I mean, they're probably going to like set somebody's house on fire or get abducted by aliens. Actually, Meredith's father has already decided to go outside of his marriage for a little bit of interesting times while I was playing off camera. I'm going to be posting a short video actually of that probably tomorrow to let you guys know what's going on there. But I decided to play off camera for a little bit with the family just because, you know, in The Sims when you start, they have like, if you have somebody that's married, they don't have a relationship. So I wanted the parents to have a relationship before we start the whole Christmas challenge, because that's kind of weird if you're like living in a house and your parents don't even know each other. Like, okay, what's going on here? But unfortunately, Meredith's father has decided to get to know someone else, which I guess, you know, that let's just start it off with the drama, shall we, Felix? So yeah, so anyway, so today we are building the Winter's Home, and this is going to be where Christopher, who is our, shall we say, our male suitor, I don't know, what do they say in those movies, like our dashing young man, you know, whatever. So this is where he is going to be living with his family, and it's actually right next door to the Jolly House where Meredith lives with her family. So we are just getting started on this one, and it's a pretty simple house. It has a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom home, and pretty similar to Meredith's house, but a little less of the modern lodge type feeling, and just your usual, I guess you would say your usual suburban house. Not quite suburban, it's like the suburbs that are like a little bit out in the country, but not quite yeehaw country. Like not quite where I live. I live I live in the middle of the woods in a very rural area, and yeah, it is country. But like this is like just outside. You know, they're like 5 minutes from Walmart. They're not that country. So they're actually just country enough to fit in perfectly in the Brindleton Bay in this area. And once again, this is one of my favorite areas for this kind of house. I think they fit so well in this in the naturey areas of Brindleton Bay. I guess you would say, is naturey a word? It is. Like I make up my own words a lot, sorry. That's just how I work. But yeah, so it fits well. And actually you can see the fridge that I did here. I did have to move that out. I thought that would work, and it didn't. I did actually play test this one. Unlike the restaurant that I made, I did go through and make sure that everything works and everything is good. So I actually didn't forget to do that this time. Yay, go me. But I did end up having to move the fridge out of the cabinet there. And eventually I want to find a cabinet that actually works with that. So if you know one, leave me a comment and let me know, because I would love to know what cabinets I can actually do that with, because I know I've seen it before and I know that it works with some cabinets, but apparently it does not work with that cabinet. So there you go, you're welcome for me looking stupid and figuring that out for you. But yeah, it really would have been cool if it would have worked. But anyway. And I just want to apologize right now for there is a lot of background noise going on in this video, and unfortunately there's not much I can do about that because my cats have apparently lost their minds this morning. I'm not sure what's going on, but they're just like, nah, we're not recording today. We're not doing that. Sorry. Actually, of course, since they're cats, I'm sure they're probably not all that terribly sorry, but I'm sorry for the noise anyway. So yeah, just finishing up the kitchen here, and I am going to add a dog into this family. I think we're going to go with the golden retriever because that just seems like the common dog that you see with these kinds of families. You know, every like the suburban home with the 2.5 kids, and the dog is always a golden retriever. So we're going to go ahead and go with that, but I haven't quite figured a name out for him yet. So if something, I don't know, something Christmassy maybe? I don't know. I'm going to have to think on that one. If you have any ideas, be sure to leave me a comment and let me know what you think we should name him. I do have this family on the gallery along with the house, and of course with the Jolly family in their house as well, but I have not added any pets into the gallery version. So if you would like to add whatever pets, maybe yours are cat people, or they have, I don't know. Oh, well, they do have the hamster. So they do have, I put a hamster in with the kids' bedroom and Trevor's bedroom upstairs. So you will come with one pet with this family, and it will be a hamster. So if you're not a hamster person, then I don't know, maybe, you know, let him go. Not right now because it's like all cold and snowy there, and that's just not nice. Don't do that to the poor little hamster. But speaking of which, it always cracks me up that the family is just standing out there and like watching their house materialize in front of them in the snow. Like, bro, we're cold. Can we come in? Can we just... I can just imagine like that, you know, experiencing your house just like, oh my gosh, it's just like building in front of my face. And, you know, like, whoa. And here on the fireplace, you can see I struggled a little bit. That is one of, I guess, two issues I've been having with the platforms since they came into our game, is that sometimes things just like sink into the platforms as though they're just not there. And it takes a little bit. You have to like rebuild the wall, I found, is a good way to kind of get it to work. And I don't know if that's just me being dumb or if that's kind of an issue that exists with the platforms. But also when you add a new room, so like I'm going to add a bathroom here in a little bit to the downstairs, and once I add that room, it makes the platform go up, so it's like way higher than usually, like than how I set it to. And it also deletes any furniture that you have in the room around the platform. So that's really frustrating, and I'm not sure like what the issue really is there or why that's doing that. So that's definitely been a little bit of a learning curve for me with the whole platform thing. But yeah, I don't know. I guess you have to build your rooms first and then maybe add the platforms, or yeah, I don't know. I'm still kind of figuring that out, but so far I've been absolutely loving the whole platform thing. I keep telling myself that I'm going to try to do the bunk beds that everyone is doing with them, but I haven't really had a house where I needed bunk beds yet. I suppose I could have done that in Trevor's bedroom because I did give him an extra bed in case he has, you know, friends come over, or just maybe he just wants an extra bed for his imaginary friend. There was enough room in the room. There was enough room in the room. So I just decided to go ahead and add an extra bed in there. And I guess I could have done the bunk beds in there, but then it wouldn't have filled up the space as much as having two separate beds. So yeah, whatever. And I did go ahead and add in lots of Christmassy elements for this one, which of course you can take out if this is not a Christmas themed house, because of course in The Sims, Christmas comes and goes and comes and goes, and the evil gnomes for Thanksgiving and everything. But yeah, here is the platform thing, and that drives me bonkers. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. I guess you have to have your structure of the house before you add. I don't know. That's just, it's so frustrating, but eventually I'll figure it out. Maybe, probably not, but anyway. But yeah, I did add lots of Christmassy stuff in this one, of course, because we are going to be just pretending that it is the Christmas season for quite a while for this family, regardless of what the actual sim season may be, because we are using them in my Christmas challenge. So I wanted them to have a super Christmassy house, and of course for filming and stuff I wanted the Christmas feel to be really throughout the whole home. So you can of course delete those things or change them out for whatever you want. You know, like I've said many times before, I'm totally cool with any of my builds being changed, and I would absolutely love to see any changes, because yeah, I always love seeing like different builds and stuff. And everyone is always super creative, so pretty much any changes are going to be awesome. So yeah, I totally want to see them. So make sure to tag me or send me a message or something, so make sure I see them, because I definitely want to. And of course I can't get away with building something without adding a bunch of plants, because I'm a weird plant lady. So this build definitely has a lot of plants, and probably maybe some plants that people are getting sick of if they see too many of my builds. But gosh, I just love some of those plants so much. I need to go CC shopping maybe and get more plants, but I have been trying to not put as much CC in my builds, and I actually did this one once again with only Sims things that come from the game. So there's no creative content in this house. There is just a little bit in the Winters family. I used some skin overlays, which with the new skin patch, which is so cool. I am so happy that there is more diversity, that actually people look the way that they're supposed to look, instead of, you know, the blotchy skins and, you know, not the right tones and stuff. And I love that there is more representation, so that definitely is a cool addition. But with this patch, there's not really much of a need for the skin overlays as much. Now of course I do a lot of like freckles, and I have of course like my I've created Deadpool from Marvel Comics. I have a Deadpool in my game, and of course he's got like scars and blood and all kinds of crazy stuff all over him. So but yeah, as far as like skin tones and stuff, I hadn't really used too many overlays. So the ones that I have used, you can definitely get away with not using with the new skin overlay or the skin update. So that should not be a problem. I believe that all of the hair and clothes and things on this particular family are all in the game. But of course, if you do run into something on this family that is custom content and you need a link, just send me a message on like Twitter or Facebook or anywhere, even Instagram. Just, you know, shoot me a message and I'll be happy to let you know what I've used there and where you can find it, which usually is always the Sims resource website. I use that one a lot for my creative content that I pick up. I do have a few things that I've picked up from Tumblr, but usually a lot of those artists are also on the Sims resource. So I just feel like that one is the easiest one to trust, that you're not going to get extra stuff that you don't really want with your, you know, with that hair you're picking up. You're not getting a virus with it or something. But there are a few other sites. I think a lot of people use Pinterest, but I research a lot of things there, and I actually have quite a few Pinterest boards of Sims content and design ideas and stuff. But sometimes the things I find on Pinterest are websites that I don't really know, so I'm definitely not going to recommend those. And yeah. I actually really like how the downstairs bathroom / laundry room turned out on this one. It's a little bit crowded, and I guess for some people it might be too crowded, but I feel like it all fits together well and actually kind of works. You know, I like it. And I went through a few different ideas for the shelving and the dining room area, but once again I ran into the issue where the wood tones just were not matching up with the dining room table at all. And you may notice the holiday garland on the door to the dining room as I go between the bathroom and dining room, kind of putting things together. But that actually had to be removed because the door was not operable with the garland on that. So if you wanted to, you could go ahead and add that back in and just put it up a little bit higher so that it doesn't block the door. I was not thinking that that was actually going to block the door. I thought they could get around it just fine, but apparently either my Sims are especially picky or it just does not work out. So yeah, that is one holiday decoration that we did have to get rid of. And I'm pretty sure that I used the rug from Snowy Escape like 3 times in this build. And usually I try to vary things a little bit more, but there was just something about that rug that it just went with absolutely everything. Like everywhere that I wanted to put a rug, that was just like the perfect rug for it. So apparently we're just gonna say that this family really likes that rug more than I, as much as I do. So. But speaking of flooring, I had a little bit of trouble figuring out the carpet in this one. I feel like the carpets that you get, yeah, this one was okay, but then when I put the wallpaper on, it just didn't, it didn't look right. So I feel like that's one thing that like, kind of like how the wood textures don't really match that well. Like the carpet that we get is either like super gaudy or super like bland, so there's no like in between middle of the line carpet. And I guess that's kind of true with any carpet. Like it's either going to be like the decorative hotel carpet, or it's going to be just carpet that's not going to have anything cool with it. But yeah, so I don't know, looking at it now, even it doesn't really, I don't know if I like that carpet, but whatever. I mean, that's an easy fix if that's something that you don't like if you download the house. So yeah, for now it works. I mean, it's a teenage boy's bedroom, so what kind of style. It's not like it has to be the height of style, I guess. So it works. And of course, being a teenage boy's bedroom, well, I guess he isn't a teenager. He is a young adult because he has actually gone ahead onto, he's actually joined the military and is back living with his parents. I guess you could say he's on the military reserves or something. He's in the military, but he had to move back home just like Meredith did. So, of course, that's part of our Christmas storyline, but whatever. So, I guess it used to be a teenage boy's room, and then he moved back, so he's like a young adult living in his teenage room. I knew what I was talking about there. I have lost my mind this week. I swear. We actually had a bit of a coronavirus scare. My husband was exposed at work, and then he come home, and we're both feeling sick, so we had to go get tested, and we've been on isolation for almost a week now. Right around a week is when we had to get our test done. So we actually are still on isolation. And oh man, even though I've been staying home pretty much most of the time anyway, I'm very high risk myself because of all of my autoimmune issues. But we've been staying home, but the whole not even being able to go get groceries because I use like click list for the grocery pickup, like you can't even go do that because you don't want to accidentally expose somebody, of course. So even just like the whole idea of like you can't go out of your house even if you want to, like I probably wouldn't want to anyway, but just the whole not being able to leave, it's so draining. And it's really just like my brain is just like, no, we're not gonna work right now, sorry. And I feel like that's just like so weird too, because I haven't really left my house at all for 9 months now. I mean, yeah, it really only when I absolutely have to go somewhere is when I will go somewhere. I'm definitely not, I miss going to like Goodwill and thrift stores and stuff. That used to be kind of my thing before the whole virus thing happened. Was I loved going to thrift stores and finding things for like new art projects or like new clothes to turn into whatever, like upcycling clothes and stuff. That was like my thing that I like to do. So yeah, now that's not happening. But I'm actually pretty much of an introvert too, so it's just so weird that I think I'm finally reaching my introvert breaking point of I cannot take being in my house anymore. But then having the whole added, oh hey, you might have coronavirus too, so definitely don't go anywhere, has really just kind of, oh man, it really throws you for a loop. But thankfully our tests have come back. They are negative, so we have just a couple more days of isolation just to be sure that that they are negative. But so far so good, so thankfully. And oh, here is another place where I did use platforms, and I really just, oh man, there's something about the whole platforms in the bathroom thing that I really just love. And I believe that yet again, this is another area where I used the rug from Snowy Escape. There is just, yep, oh, there it is. There's just something about that rug. It was meant to be in this house many, many times. Maybe, maybe they got a bargain on them, so they picked up, like, they went to Costco and got a bunch of rugs. We'll go with that. Yeah, that's totally why there are so many of those rugs. And actually, the planters there, those are from the Star Wars pack that literally everybody hates on. Like, I do not have the hate for the Star Wars pack that everybody else does, but yeah, it's one of my favorite packs when it comes to just like really weird, unique, like those planters there and all kinds of different build items. I really feel like so many people are really sleeping on that pack when they shouldn't be, because even if you don't like Star Wars, like I totally like Star Wars a lot. My son actually quizzes me on Star Wars characters sometimes, and like my husband has like multiple Star Wars tattoos, so I mean we are definitely Star Wars nerds in this house, so I was gonna get the pack anyway. But for a person who loves like industrial themed builds, that pack is so perfect. Like all the different what are they called, like vents and things that you get with that. I love it, and I love just being able to have like a gonk droid in my house if I want to. But I guess that's like my nerdy side. Oh, there's the rug again. I'm telling you guys, like I'm obsessed. I need to stop with the rug. But it was just, there's so many spots where it's perfect. And I feel like maybe I went a little bit too gothy with this room, but I feel like it fits the personality of the mom in the Winters family really well. So as a lawyer, she's very formal, very businessy, and not too into like frilly girly bedroom type stuff. So this is definitely her kind of formal looking bedroom. And I don't know, maybe I was influenced a little bit too much by the synthwave playlist that I was listening to, and she got a little bit too gothy looking here, but maybe it might be a little bit better room for Vlad. I'll have to update him. He would be like, that would be so much fun to update his house. But thankfully, from going with my gothy grays and blacks and darker colors, I was able to find a carpet that worked really well in this one. So the basic black carpet, I think, really worked out a lot better in this room than it did down in Christopher's room, and really just kind of ties it together. So I guess that there's one point where the carpet was working for me rather than against me. I think that I frequently prefer to use the wood floors just because, you know, a good wood floor is something that'll match pretty much anything, but man, these carpets can be difficult to work with. And I did add some clutter in because I feel like it just, it's the dad's personality, so he is not nearly as straight-laced, kind of businessy, as not as formal as his wife. He is a little bit more of a clutter bug and a little bit more less, I guess, a little less organized, you would say. So yeah, there's a lot of his stuff, and some of her stuff is kind of starting to get a little bit cluttered because he's starting to kind of influence her a little bit, but most of it is his stuff that's around there, and maybe there's a little bit of tension between the two of them because of that. And yeah, we'll see as the storyline progresses a little bit, but they're definitely kind of opposites when it comes to that aspect of their personalities. I did put the musical instruments outside of the bedroom though, because I feel like that's one thing where she's just like, no, you know, I know that that's your job and all, but we're going to keep that out in its own little area just so she can have her own area just to relax and take a load off after a long day in the courtroom or, you know, in the office or whatever she might be doing. And there are three bedrooms, but there are also 3 bathrooms in this build. And it kind of seems like a lot when you know, like, there's only 3 bedrooms, but then of course we have the downstairs for everybody to use, and then the upstairs bedroom for Trevor to use right next to his bedroom, and then of course the ensuite in the parents' bedroom. So I guess it's really not that many. I don't know, I feel like I've been adding way too many bathrooms into my houses lately, but they all work out, so, you know, whatever. This one is, of course, a little bit cluttered because it's a kid's bathroom, and maybe the dad uses it also. Who knows, you know, it's definitely the most cluttery of the 3 bathrooms, and of course, I think that that's appropriate, though, since it is the kid's bathroom. So we pretty much have just the upstairs common area where we've got the instruments, and we'll add a few more things. And then we have Trevor's bedroom to finish up, and that will pretty much be it for this build. Of course, I did once again forget and pause it while I was doing a part of the outside. I guess I'm just like doomed to never ever ever have like my roofing or any of that on like filmed. I don't know why. It's like I just, for some reason, I end up pausing it there to go do whatever, and then I completely forget that it's paused. So once again, there will be a little bit of a jump where I start out with one roof color and then I switch over to another roof color. It went a little bit better with the inspiration picture that I was using. I have a few different ones on a Pinterest board that I was going off of, but I think that I end up going with like a red kind of roofing, and I think that it looks much better than the darker roofing that I had originally, and it just really sets off the white, and especially when it is snow covered in the area, it looks a lot better with the red roofing. So yeah. And here we see the two beds that I could have turned into a bunk bed, but then there would have been so much extra space. I mean, I guess I could have put like the puppet theater or the void critter thing there, but that void critter thing is just like so big and awkward. It's just I never ever use that. Like, I really love the aspect of the void critters and stuff, but the gaming system thing is just so big and awkward and weird. Like, I don't know how to incorporate that into a build without it just being like this big weird thing. Maybe I'll actually finally put that in a daycare that I'm going to be building. Probably, I think I'm going to be doing that one in January. It's going to be an elderly couple who runs a daycare out of their home, and that's going to be in Willow Creek. So that's going to be across the street from Casey and her yoga studio that we did, almost a month ago now. That's also going to be using the Live in Business mod from Little Miss Sam, and that's definitely, I really just love that mod. There's so many different things you can do with it, but I do think that the daycare would probably be a good place to do the Void Critter gaming system, because in a daycare you can have all kinds of areas where there's just all kinds of toys around, and it would make sense for the giant Void Critter console thing to be in the daycare and kind of taking up a lot of space. So I'll definitely have to make a note to finally put that one in there, since it is such a cool idea, but it's just so huge. But for this room, I decided to just go ahead and give Trevor the usual things that I figure he's about 10 years old, maybe 11 or so. So of course he's got his gaming system, and he's got his little hamster, and still a few little toys here and there, but really, like any 10-year-old boy these days, the gaming is going to take over a lot of his time. And we might actually let him go ahead and start streaming using so it's the Kawaii Stacy. It's her Switch streamer mod, and I actually used that one for Ghastly, and that is one of my absolute favorite new mods. It's so much fun to watch the stream comments come along and see all the different ones and all the different interactions that come with that one. I've had a lot of fun playing with that one, so maybe we'll let Trevor go ahead and start a streaming career if his parents approve, of course. And speaking of mods, I definitely want to get around to, sooner or later, going over the new Brook Heights open world mod that Arnie created. That one was on his Patreon for quite a while, and now that is available for anybody to pick up. And I am a huge fan of mods. I use them all the time. I started really on Skyrim. I started playing around with mods, and I had like a Deadpool follower. If you haven't noticed, I'm like a huge Deadpool fan, so comic books have been like a humongous part of my life. But yeah, I started off with like a Deadpool follower on Skyrim on PC, and oh my goodness, from there on I just like have started modding everything. Fallout, all kinds of games, but definitely Sims mods are so much fun to play with, and the Brook Heights mod is so cool, and it really adds so much with the open world, and definitely something that we're going to be going over. And I'm also going to be going over a few of just my favorite mods that kind of add a little bit to gameplay here and there, and just mods that I use in general. So we will definitely be going over those soon. I do want to get over the Christmas stuff first, just because, it's Christmas and you can only do that a certain time of year, but we will be getting to a lot of mod related videos probably in January or February. I do want to get to Brook Heights before that though, because it is so cool and so new and definitely worth checking out if you mod your game at all. I'm also going to be doing a tutorial fairly soon on how exactly to put mods into your game if you don't know how, and it's actually incredibly simple. There I see quite frequently on Facebook, you know, oh, I would love to add this mod or that, but I just don't know how. So I'm going to be putting together a quick little tutorial just to show how easy it is to put mods in your game, and of course to take them out when you have to do updates and everything, and where to find the different folders and all that kind of fun stuff. So that will definitely be coming in the somewhat near future as well. But we have just a few finishing touches to this build. We have a couple more things to add to the porch and just a few more things to do at the landscaping. And I did want to keep the landscaping pretty simple to things that will look good under the snow, since this is kind of a wintry. A lot of my personal gameplay with this house is going to be in a winter theme. So I wanted to keep it pretty simple and stuff that looks good under the snow. But that is pretty much it, so be sure to like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more build videos and gameplay. And we are getting to the screenshot soon, so I will see you soon. Bye!